21st. 21st. So yes, I'm back. I do have access to my cell phone camera now after a very long period in which my cell phone camera became dysfunctional. Now, this happened when I was working on my last red beam vid. So in other words, the last video showing all the hacking I encountered when I was trying to cut and post these videos about the red beam I saw in my mirror. Now, so many, as often happens to me, there was significant, insurmountable hacking and interception. So as I mentioned, the camera went completely dead. So I was getting things like, video isn't responding. Do you want to close it? And an error has occurred. So whenever I would tap on the camera, this would appear. An error has occurred. So basically, I could not use. I had no camera to use, and you'll see that in the last video. I mentioned that the camera on the YouTube channel, the camera, my camera has completely died. So I was able to use my phone, but not the camera. This kind of thing happens to me all the time. Now, when I was working on the red beam vids, I also like to note that the camera would just go dead. It would just go black, dead, just like that, with no explanation. The camera would just go dead. I'm not stupid. The storage was fine, and the charge was fine. This is an example, another example of what happens to me all the time. You see that reading there. That's my SD card on the right, under memory, 61%. And there's still space in the internal storage too. But it tells me there's no storage available. Like, that's even for a photo. And my phone is always on SD. I always choose the SD option. So everything will save automatically to SD card memory. I always put it on the SD option, so it should not be saying there's no storage. There's plenty of space. So I got that a lot. I was also getting a lot of error messages. Once again, Google Play Services has stopped. Keep stopping. And then camera has stopped. Unfortunately, and things like this. Unfortunately, home has stopped. I showed you the camera has stopped there. An error has occurred. There's another one here too. Oh, home has stopped, which I mentioned. Basically, I'm not able to work on documenting and posting my videos. I can't work on it anymore. Everything becomes dysfunctional. All the critical tools I need, like the camera, storage, everything becomes dysfunctional. Is this on? Okay, I was a bit worried there. Here I say, cell is telling me can no longer take videos. Okay, I mentioned that. You can see all my red beams neatly organized there. And I showed you that video isn't responding. Okay, so basically, finally, the camera, after just not working and getting all these errors, started working again. So I'm back. It's been quite a while, but I'm back working on the next video about all the hacking that I experienced trying to do videos on the red beam I saw in my mirror. Now, this is very important, while I was working on all this stuff, you can see here in my diary, I was getting strange images coming up spontaneously on my phone. Now, one of them was end of days. Right there, you can see that in my gallery, and that is, it just appeared out of nowhere, and that's a close-up. Okay, and that just appeared out of nowhere when I was working on my red beam videos. It's almost like someone saying, stop that immediately. And I get that kind of messaging all the time, not just through the hacking, but in other ways as well. So that I took a screenshot, cut it out, and I put it on the front of my diary. Now, End of Days, I've talked about that a lot. I've talked about End of Days a lot. That's a movie that is had been on my has been televised on my TV a lot, constantly, and it very much ties into all the other subliminal messaging, like Demon Seed was playing endlessly. I almost had it memorized when all this started. Demon Seed, and then Rosemary's Baby. The day I was working on this, Rosemary's Baby just happened to be on TV. And I do have, right there, I have that Rosemary's Baby is on TV the day I work on End of Days occurrence, which means that it just appeared on my phone with that specific image. So that night, Rosemary's Baby just happens to be on TV. Now, this kind of thing, this kind of subliminal messaging, these connections, this happens all the time. Like I was talking about that recently when I was talking about the pains I used to get during specific lyrics. Every time I played a Who song, the specific Who song, I would get pains during specific lyrics. This strikes of pain, like lightning strikes of pain in I think it was my feet or my ankles during specific lyrics. And when I was working on that video that night, a Who documentary about the Who, I think it's called The Children Are Okay, something like that, just appeared on TV. So that is way more than, come on, people. That's way more than a coincidence, okay? And that happens to me all the time. That kind of thing happens all the time. And I don't even have to be talking about it, just working on it, okay? So working on a vid, working on my diary, documenting, filing, organizing, just working on it alone, it will prompt something. So anyway, yeah, that's the kind of thing that was happening also when I was working on the red beam vid, the last vid, capturing all the hacking that I experienced. So now my camera's just suddenly started working again, just like that. It's like everything else that happens. Just first it was dead, couldn't use it, and then all of a sudden it started working again. So here I am again. And I did, and this is going to be a short video, I just want to talk about the kind of images that appear. I showed you one, another one that appeared when I was working on one. I had a very, very long session. I was working on all of this very diligently as usual. And what, I'm going to find this here somewhere. Persistence appeared all over. Now I can't find it. I will find it. Oh yes, persistence. You see that there? It just said persistence, and it just appeared spontaneously out of the blue on my phone. Now it wasn't even like this. It was actually full. It was totally full. But I was working on moving some relevant screenshots, and I didn't want to interrupt that. I was worried because in the past I've had a lot of problems. I've dealt with a lot of interception doing that. They'll just disappear. So I really had to stick to that task and get it done. But while I was working on that, as I mentioned, persistence appeared a few times. And prior to this one, which I did screenshot here, you can see the word persistence there. Another screen appeared, or image, with persistence all the way down. I was like, what? Persistence. And this is when I was diligently working on all this stuff. It was like, I think it had been hours. And then as soon as I finished, persistence appeared. Okay? So that's definitely some kind of live, real-time hacking. And that's I'm going to keep this video short. So this is the first back to the series on the trying to cut and post and organize Red Beam, um, the Red Beam videos and all the hacking I dealt with, trying to do that, just trying to do that, which has been happening to me for years, already for years. I've tried to get help in many ways, but it's like I hit a brick wall every time I try to do that, and worse, it's turned against me.